Hello there, it's Carrie Rhoades here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel and a new card making video. Today I am going to be doing some fun stuff with stencils, and I'm featuring a brand new stamp and die set from our latest release. It's the Simply Sentimental Sympathy set. So first I need to show you a previous card I already made using this squishy bunny die set. It makes a bunny shaped card. I had made some shaving cream backgrounds. Now if you want to see this video, I'll have it linked for you below, as well as the live video I did with a similar card. But what I did was create a shaving cream background, cut out the squishy bunny shape card, and stencil over the top of it, as you see me doing right here. I'm doing yellow hearts on one side, and then on the other side I'm going to do some pink. And this is creating ink that builds up on my stencil. Well, recently I decided I don't like wasting the ink on the stencil. Like when I go to clean that stencil off, there's so much ink on there. So I have been collecting that ink, which I'm going to show you how I do it right here, and creating a background. So I just spritzed it about 5 times with water, and then I'm laying down a plain white piece of cardstock on top and picking up that excess ink and giving me something I can use later. Well, this video is later. There's the dried background. It is so cool. Now, I love things like this that are a little bit shabby, and turning them into something I can totally use. So now I'm taking that same heart stencil, which is from the Hearts checkered add-on stencil. So this goes with a checkered stencil set that Trinity has, and it also has X's with it. And what I did is I just lined it up with the hearts that were already there. I'm going to come back in with some squeezed lemonade and Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide ink and stencil into those openings. Now, before, when I did the stenciling on the squishy bunny card, I just used the excess ink that was already in my Blending Buddy brush. So this time I'm actually selecting the color. So it could be a little bit different from the color that's there, but what's really cool is the side that I just did with yellow, I actually did over the pink part of the paper. And now I'm doing the pink ink over the yellow part of the paper. So we're going to get both colors on both sides. They're going to blend together in the middle and give me a soft orange color, and it's just gorgeous. So you have to let me know in the comments below what you think about this kind of look, where it's not exactly perfect. It's not printed paper. It has that shabby vibe to it. A watercolor kind of looseness to it. I love it, but I gotta know what you think. Okay, so here is the completed background now. I took that excess ink and used it, but then I made more excess ink on the stencil. So it's like a vicious cycle. I decided I couldn't waste it. That's the thing I'm trying to do lately, is not waste that ink, right? So I decided I would make another one and I could use this another time. But what ended up happening is I made 2 cards. So stay tuned and you'll see me use this one after I finish the card for my first background, and you'll get to see 2 completed cards. So I took this largest die from the Emergency Card Essentials die set number 2. It has an embossed detail line, and it's going to give me an A2 layering panel that's going to fit perfect on an A2 size card, where I get a nice white border around this background. So perfect. And I was able to select the part of the paper that I liked the most. I wanted it right in the middle, so I had half pink and half yellow. So that's what I did. And here is that new Simply Sentimental Sympathy stamp and die set. I really like this set. I especially love this font right here, which is new to our Simply Sentimental collection. Great for the sympathy line. I showed you the first one was stamped. This one is die cut and then glued on to the shadow layer. That shadow layer die also cuts out the stamped image. So this is Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1. I used the circle and the scallop circle there to create a little place to put my sentiment, the focal point of my card. And then I stamped a note of, and that is from that Simply Sentimental Sympathy, because not only does it have those big words of sympathy, but it also has sub-sentiments that you can use with them. All right, so I'm using one of the strip dies from the ECE sets and cutting this out. It's great for word dies like this, and mine was really short, so I'm just cutting it twice so I can get that nice squared off end on my little sentiment here. And I'm pressing it right now because sometimes you get press detail into your die cuts that you don't necessarily want. And I just use my crease tool to press that out. Now here's the tiny bandage die set. The Band-Aid is so cute. I'm not using it on my card today, but the heart, and there's two hearts. The heart that I have in my hand, it is like the perfect match to the heart from this stencil. Not that it's the same size, but it's the same heart. So I'm going to die cut that out of my scallop circle and create an inlay. And then I'm going to cut this heart again using some yellow glitter paper. I'm almost out, but I save every little scrap, right? Waste not, want not. And I'm going to inlay that glitter paper onto this scallop circle. I love scallop, tiny scallops. So cute on a border, which there is one in this die set, in the circle. Love it. So there's my base for my sympathy sentiment. It's becoming like a little focal point for my card that I think is really charming. And I think this card is somewhat cheery, but it's definitely going to bring someone a little bit of a smile, maybe during a hard time. So here I have some craft foam. It has adhesive already on the back. So I'm going to die cut the word sympathy, that shadow layer, from this fun foam, craft foam, and I put the die down so that the adhesive was on the front, because what I'm really trying to do is lift up my sentiment a little bit here. And the sentiment that I'm using on this one is the double die cut. So the letters in white are die cut and the shadow layer is die cut. And I just added those two together. I really like to use the rip and stick sheets from Trinity Stamps on the back of my cardstock when I'm die cutting out the words, those letters. It works good to have that on the back and treat it as a sticker. Here I have some black iridescent acrylic paint. I'm watering it down with just a little spritz of water there so it's a lot more loose, and I can use this as a splatter just to bring in a little touch of that black element, but also it's gonna have a great like iridescent shine. So there's my little touch of splatter. Isn't it perfect? Ah, so good. And then it kind of has that highlight, and when you turn it in the light you can see like a hint of gold, which worked out perfect for this card. I did get a few smudges on my card base, but that's okay, it's going to be covered. But I had some extra of that background that I cut out with my paper trimmer, just like it's like about 1 inch, I think, and I'm adding that to the inside of my card just to bring in another element of the outside to the inside. It always just really makes for a well-rounded card. Yeah. And then this heart was the one I die cut from that scallop circle. I'll add that in there as well, and it's just cute. So now it's time to put the whole thing together. So first we're putting on that background that's the, the stencil pickup print with the stenciling over the top, and then some splatter, and then we can add our focal point here. So a simple card, but I really hope that this is going to bring somebody a smile. And I always think that sympathy cards are nice to have on hand so that when you need it, you have it ready to go. So that's what this is for me. I've got it and I can use it when I need it. So there's card number 1, but remember I made that second print. So we're going to use that. I just put the stencil on here so it lined up perfectly with the paper. I thought the hearts were going to be in between the hearts that were white on here. They're not exactly perfectly in between, but it's going to work out fine. So I'm just taping the stencil in place, and then I'm taking a black liner pen and I'm going to trace every heart on this stencil. Just trace it. Very easy to do with this thin liner pen. You could do this with a different colored pen if you want, but it's a liner pen versus like a ballpoint pen or a marker is going to work best for this. So we got all the hearts covered here, and then we're going to have a really unique background that I think is really cute, and it's going to play into that black that I'm adding to these cards. Look at that. It's pretty fun, right? I like it, but again, I would love to know your thoughts, so leave me a comment below so I know what you think. All right, this one's getting a touch of splatter as well. I saved that splatter on there so I could use it because I had plenty, and just that kind of diagonal little stripe of that through the middle. And then I'm using the same exact dies as I did before, but this time I switched it. So the larger circle is the textured pink cardstock and the scallop circle is the vellum. And then I'm stamping one of my favorite sentiments from this set, which says no words, just hugs. It's perfect. All right, then I have these hearts here I'll add for embellishment. They're bright yellow with like a pearlized finish to them. So gorgeous. I'll glue down the word sympathy right above my sub-sentiment, add that to my circle, and I'm just creating another kind of focal image for this card. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's simple, but it does the job, you know? Yeah. All right, so then we'll add those embellishments. I'm going to do a larger one in the center and then a smaller on either side of that. I think those are gorgeous embellishments. And of course, these hearts with like that pearlized finish, we have them in lots of colors at the Trinity Stamp Shop. So if you like these, you can get them in multiple colors. I'll link these for you in the description box below, and from there you can find lots more. Yeah. All right, so this we're adding to our card base. Now, I did use a mixture of tape runner and liquid glue because these backgrounds are slightly warped, so to speak, because they've been, had water on them, and it's a thinner weight cardstock. So having both really helps it to lay flat. I did save some of the scraps that I'm going to put onto the inside of the card. I try my best to add a little something to the insides of my cards, and sometimes I get to it, sometimes I don't, but I always feel better about my card when I do. It has that finished off feel to it. So there's both of my sympathy cards. I think that the backgrounds just make these cards. They really do. So tell me what you think about not wasting ink on my stencil, picking up a print, and how these turned out. I'd love to hear from you, and be sure you go over to the Trinity Stamps shop and check out the latest release. Everything in this release is sympathy, get well, nurse appreciation, doctor related, and then we have some emojis in this. You have to go look. If you have not seen the emojis, they're so cute. We have basic emojis and sick and tired emojis. You got to see it. All right. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you all again very soon with another video right here on the Trinity Stamps channel. Happy stamping. Bye.